Hi, Susan here, and I wanted to show you how to make my favorite lentil beads. They're very simple. I make them out of scrap clay, or you can make them like the rainbow ones out of a prepared cane of clay. You can make them in all different colors and sizes. Here I use them on a pendant. You can make a big one. A cha-cha bracelet. Everybody loves these. Great way to use up all your scraps of crystals and stuff. Your classic white. I love the way the gold and silver leaf really show up in this. So pretty. There's lots of other things I've made with these. I've made this wonderful necklace with the drops on it. Just so many cool things. Very simple. Great for earrings. You can do all different sorts of earrings. And they're very light. Now if you put the hole through the center of the bead rather than the top to the bottom, you can do more like a satellite bead. And this makes a really, really cool little earring. Kind of funny to focus on, but anyway, let's get started. We have lots of cane left for making our flower canes, and this is the end cuts of the canes that we had left. The middle of the flowers, all sorts of stuff. And this is what I call my precious scraps, because I never want to throw this away. There's just so much I do with this, and if the colors, I don't like the way they come out, I just use them as bead filler. There'll be lots of other beads I show you with caning that we use filler in, but this color mix I consider like a citrusy spice. The yellows, the oranges, and the pumpkin and the greens, and I'm just really loving this combination. It kind of goes summer or fall, and those are both my favorite color mixes. And so all we're doing is just chopping this up just so that we can blend all these little pieces together, so we get a little taste of each color swirled in. And see how we have some of this big green? I want to kind of chop that up smaller so I don't get lots of green beads. I just want it to be a highlight. And we're just going to toss it around, make sure we don't have any more big pieces, because I love this pumpkin color. Now the great thing about lentil beads is they come smooth as glass, and you don't have to sand them. I am not a sander. I love sanded pieces. I don't like sanding. I actually hate it. And I don't think people who purchase your pieces appreciate the time and love that goes into sanding. Not that I don't think they're beautiful, I just don't think that a lot of people have the concept of how much work is into sanding. So anyway, I'm just going to toss this around, make it into my bead mess, and then we're just going to try to get it together without any air bubbles. That can be the tricky part. Getting it to squish together real tight, because if you have any air bubbles, they will mess you up. So what we want to do is squish this into a log as tight as we can so that we don't have any air bubbles. I'm using the table. My table is glass, and I'm trying to use the table to squish out the bubbles. I don't feel too many, but I'm sure somebody's hiding out in there. Oh, I can feel a few. So we're going to cut this in half just because it'll take me too long to show you all of that. And now we're going to add my favorite, little gold leaf. This just really seems to highlight a lot. And I like to just use the scraps. This is a great way to clean up. I clean up the scraps around my room, make earrings out of them. Great gifts, great craft items. Great way to get rid of all your little leftover beads too is earrings. And then we're just going to roll this out. Now we're going for approximately the thickness of a number 2 pencil. That seems to be my magical size that I like to work in. And since that'll take up too much of my screen space. Okay, now at the end I can feel an air bubble in here. So let's squish him out. He'll just make it difficult to roll out the beads. Okay, and our clay is nice and soft because I live in sunny Florida where my clay stays real soft. Okay, now I usually do my beads approximately 10 millimeters. And like I said, I do them about the size of a number 2 pencil. And do I have one here to compare it to? Yeah, about the same size. Okay, and now I am just marking it with the Marks It tool. And the reason you could probably eyeball this, but the reason I do it pretty close is I like the consistency in the beads being pretty close in size. And I find if I don't mark it, I don't get that nice consistency. And so it's just a personal taste kind of thing. If you're doing a cha-cha bracelet, it's really cool when they're all different sizes. Okay, so we'll just take those. Now all you're going to do is roll it into a ball. Very simple. And I have my acrylic block here. This is actually a stamping block. You can see it's pretty old, but it's loved. And all we're going to do is rub this at a slight angle on the table in a circular motion. And what that does is it blends all those little colors of clay together. And see? You got a perfect little bead. Let's see if that'll focus. There we go. And you can really see the gold leaf, how it pops up and really gives an enhancement. And on both sides, you get that beautiful, beautiful swirl. So, let me just do it one more time now. When I make these, they're very, very soft, so they're hard to skewer. I recommend just laying them out on a piece of paper. I just use a piece of old cardstock, and I let them sit for at least 4 or 5 hours. You can see how we got another one perfectly there. And on both sides, you have that beautiful swirl and that little touch of leaf. So I normally skewer them straight up and down, top to bottom, like that. But you can also make them into teardrops, which all you do is pinch the top. And same thing, you can skewer these top to bottom or like a bicone. I mean, not like a drop. So it just depends on how you want to do it. But these are really nice in earrings too, the little drops. You can even ruffle the edges if you'd like. Sometimes I like that really organic look. Just depends what you're looking for. But I would definitely let that sit for at least 4 hours or put it in the freezer. Putting it in the freezer makes it real easy, but I find sometimes if it gets too cold, then it's really hard to skewer it. So if you wanted to make a larger one, you would just take some of this larger cane, cut it, and then just roll it out to a larger bead, and that's how you can get these beautiful focals. So anyway, have lots of fun with your scraps, and I hope you have a happy beading day. Thanks for watching.